The separate and silent system of prison management, known as the Pennsylvania system, is associated with the Eastern State Penitentiary, which opened in 1829. Inmates in the Pennsylvania system were not allowed to interact or communicate personally with other inmates, and they lived, worked, and had recreation in isolation. Many problems developed out of this style of management. One of the major problems for prison officials is that it was incredibly expensive to operate this type of separate and silent system. The staff necessary to ensure not only that inmates didn't communicate or interact with each other, but to also keep them separate from each other is really an overwhelming concept. In addition, inmates working alone in isolation were not very productive, so that the goods available for sale to make a profit was relatively low. The most significant problem in the Pennsylvania system faced by inmates was the psychological stress inherent in living in isolation. The development of mental illness was a very common problem under the Pennsylvania system. The congregate and silent system of prison management, known as the Auburn system, was adopted after prison officials decided that the problems of the Pennsylvania system were too serious to overcome. The major distinction between the two systems is that the Auburn system only isolated its inmates during the nighttime. During the day, they were allowed to work together in factories, which increased productivity and was better able to make a profit selling prison-made goods. Inmates still were not allowed to really communicate or interact personally, but the fact that they weren't solely living in isolation 24 hours a day meant that there was less of a mental illness concern.